Somebody once told me. Somebody once told me.
Next time on Ding Dong Games, it's time for a special challenge unlike anything you've ever seen before. The Shrek-Locke.
Oh, hello there!
An Extreme Nuzlocke variant made by me that requires a big brain but is also based entirely off of Shrek.
Fucking Shrek!
And who doesn't love some Shrek? So strap yourself in for an epic SHREKMODE crossover. Non-stop Pokemon strats, Shrek references, memes, and YTPs. My finest work yet. This is the Shrek-Locke. So before I start the challenge, let me explain a few things. This challenge will be set in Pokemon Sapphire, cause...
Ogres!
What is a Shrek-Locke, you might ask? Well, this is a new and unique challenge mode that I came up with. The rules, first of all, the game must be played in the Extreme Nuzlocke format. This means that you cannot use items during battle, set mode must be on at all times, and you're never allowed under any circumstances to overlevel the next gym leader. If the next gym leader's strongest Pokemon is level 15, let's just say, then none of your Pokemon are allowed to exceed that level. But on top of all that, in a Shrek-Locke, you must play with SHREKMODE, which completely changes how the standard Nuzlocke is played. You must start the game with Shrek as your starter, who I'll be using a shiny Machop, cause Machop has many layers.
Ogres are like
Machop. But what makes this mode really different is that unlike the normal Nuzlocke, you are not allowed to catch Pokemon in the standard Nuzlocke way. To catch more Pokemon, you have to use the new Shrek-Locke rule set. You can only catch one new Pokemon when you get a new gym badge. The Pokemon you catch must be a Shrekmon, a Pokemon that has a good enough connection to a Shrek character. I came up with about 10 different Shrekmons that you could possibly use for Pokemon Sapphire, such as Shiny Nidoran for Fiona, Zangoose for Puss in Boots, or Bagon for the Dragon. Overall, with your starter and 8 gym badges, you will have a total of 9 possible Pokemon that you can use. To make it simple, I start the game with Machop. Only after beating Roxanne can I choose a Shrekmon to add to the team. Then after beating Brawley, I can have 3 Pokemon on the team, and so forth. You can use cheats to get the encounter you want, if that Pokemon isn't available at that point. Do remember that just like a normal Nuzlocke, permadeath rules are still active. The real strategy comes from building your early game team properly, as you won't have a lot of options at that point, you need to be very careful. So with the rules established, let's just start the Shrek-Locke and blast the memes. Okay, so the game begins and I got my shiny starter. It's damn strong early game. Its name? It's got a decent nature. Honestly, everything up to the first gym is a complete cakewalk with Shrek's power. Let's go to the first battle. This can be a bit hard at level 5, but more often than not, you will win at that level.
Come on! Back off! My swamp!
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I do want to state that many of the Shrek YTPs in this video are obviously not my own, so I won't take any credit for them. Most of them came from Emplemon's Shrekkening video, which is an absolute work of art and one of the better videos on all of YouTube. I'm being real with you. Absolutely go check out that video. Also, a very big shout out to my boy Lazza Laydon, who is a YouTube pooper. I know him personally and he has graciously supplied me with many of the memes for this video, like this one. He gets my endorsement, so definitely check him out if you're into that kind of stuff. So back to the video. As you can see, Shrek just pounds everything here. The only thing to be careful of is the optional bug catchers and this one trainer on the beach with a Talo. Because of the level cap, which is now set to level 15 for Roxanne's nose pass, I avoid trainers to avoid over leveling. Honestly, this part is a breeze. We scare off this Aquagrunt.
This is the part where you run away.
Be gone. Then we go straight to Roxanne. The fight was a complete joke. Use focus energy, then throw hands at our rock types.
Bye-bye. See you later.
So this is where the Shrek-Locke gets interesting. The level cap is now raised to level 18 for Brawly, but now that I've got one gym badge, I can catch one new SHREKMODE. Now, Shrek on its own won't be able to beat Brawly. I need a SHREKMODE that can handle fighting types, and I choose Fiona. I use Ralts as Fiona's human form, though some people also use it for the fairy godmother, that's kind of up to you. You kinda need this Ralts, otherwise the fight against Brawly will be too RNG dependent. Donkey isn't that useful yet, so I use advanced map to spawn a Ralts and I catch one.
Put me down or you will suffer the consequences!
Now I've got to train up my 2 Pokemon team to level 18. Then I challenge Brawly. He can be hard. Surprisingly, Fiona whips his team easily, as the Magihita goes for Special Knockoff, which only has a base power of like 15 in this generation. Man, it's like in the film where Shrek initially abducts Fiona, but then Fiona ends up being OP on her own. So now it's time to add another new Shrekmon to the team as the level cap is now raised. Now Watson is not easy with my current 2 Pokemon on my team, as Magneton is too strong, so I need a Shrekmon that can handle it. And I choose... yes, I choose Mudkip as the literal swamp, as it's the best way to beat Watson. You could use Donkey for its fire types or Charmander as a dragon if you want to do that. But if you choose that, the fight against Watson becomes a bit too RNG dependent as Magneton is really strong. Which you really can't afford this early on in the game, as you only have 3 Pokemon with permadeath rules. But anyways, now that I've got Mudkip, I grind for the Mei fight, expecting a challenge, as she's got a Grovyle and Machop isn't too specially defensive. Also, make sure to give Shrek bulk up, as that move is broken. Now, you've seen me hate on Light Platinum and Liquid Crystal for having horrible AI, but this takes the cake. The AI literally plays in its ass for 3 turns as Shrek starts to power up to the max. Nobody, absolutely nobody. Shrek?
2 things, okay?
I was so dumbfounded by this. How can the AI be so incompetent? How?
2 things, okay?
Man, this game is a load of rubbish at times. Let's skip straight to the Watson fight. I sick the swamp on him. Was this physical Voltorb? Watson must really want Voltorb to have a strong self-destruct or something. A new badge. You know what time it is. You can't have a Shrekmon without Donkey.
Can I stay with you, please?
Of course!
Really?
No.
Stay, please, please!
Okay, okay. But one night...
I'm making waffles.
Unfortunately, it's not that good early game and is only usable once it evolves and gets flamethrower. No offense, Donkey. Moving on, I get the Machop Brace from the Windstreet family, which will be useful later on. Then I proceed, trying not to overlevel too much as I reach the Archie boss fight. Which I definitely miscalculated on. I restricted my leveling a bit too much and should have evolved Shrek into Machop, but I underestimated Archie's team. Sharpedo is too strong as it destroys the swamp. I'm sorry, Shrek. You're not getting your swamp back this time.
A quest to get my swamp back!
Useless! Pathetic! Annoying!
Oh god, I seriously thought I was going to lose the entire run. But barely. Shrek managed to avenge this loss. He uses Revenge and blasts Sharpedo with all of his anger. God, that was so close. And losing Marshtomp is awful for my team, I really needed that. I'm in very big trouble now. But I'm so glad that I won. But from now on, I need to be a lot more careful as I've got no room for error. Had I evolved my Machop, it probably would have been much easier. But nothing could be done now. Shrek undergoes his first transformation, and now I've got to beat Flannery. But god, this battle does not look easy. It's a 3 versus 3, and I don't have the best matchup as Torkoal is a threat. However, I came up with a really risky strategy to win. Princess Fiona has to spam Calm Mind to sweep. The problem is she's not too bulky. One crit and I would have been screwed, but after several Calm Minds, Fiona sweeps. Phew. Now the next gym leader Norman sounds like a massive threat, and my team does not look like it can beat 2 Slackings. I need a plan now, or I'll definitely get wrecked. I do have an idea for this though, so for my next Shrekmon encounter, I pick Bagon as the dragon. Oh yeah, make sure the genders are right for these. Just you wait until I get Salamence. Time to prepare for the 5th gym. It's best to use the daycare center to grind. Just be careful of forgetting useful moves. Oh yeah, I had this crazy close call here, and I'm so lucky to have gotten out of this without casualties, it was so close. These sand slashes with Sandveil were a massive pain. In one more turn and I would have gotten wrecked. Thankfully that did not happen. The dragon starts his growth spurt and has its first transformation. This will be very important in the Norman fight. Then Princess Fiona is now at full power. At the gym, I fight the least amount of trainers possible to avoid any risks, then go to challenge Norman. This challenge was very close and almost fell apart. I did have a plan for it though. The strat was to have Shelgon abuse Protect to stall out Slacking. The problem was that not only was Shelgon not dealing enough damage, but also its PP for Protect wasn't high enough to last, which sounds really weird out of context. I had to improvise here, otherwise I would run out. Luckily, Shrek with his new gains pummels 2 of Norman's Pokemon, leaving only the final Slacking. Dragon is barely able to take 2 hits and has 7 Protects left, which is not good. However, things got very interesting. I got some lucky hacks by burning it and triggering Rock Smash defense decrease. This combined with the fact that Slacking kept spamming Focus Punch made Dragon able to easily destroy it. Phew, that was a tense battle, but I'm so glad that it worked out. Now I can get a new Shrekmon and fill out my team. I need to prepare for Winona, and once again her team is a huge threat, so I need a plan to beat it. I need a Shrekmon that can counter her flying types, and after some thinking, I came up with just the one. Fiona, in her ogre form. That is exactly what I need. Machop intensifies.
Oh, you touch my tra-la-la.
You'll see exactly why this is so good. This is also where the Macho Brace comes in handy. I realised that to beat Winona without blatant RNG, I'll need to EV train. So I EV train Ogre Fiona in the tunnel to greatly boost his HP bulk until it's maxed out. After that I train its special attack stat to max out also, and I know that sounds a little bit weird, but trust me, in this run Nidoqueen is better as a special attacker, as its coverage is incredible and allows Nidoqueen to destroy any threat. Also I forgot to mention that Nidoqueen is now my only Surf user. As you can see against the Aqua Admin, Fiona is a complete monster, super strong and super bulky, while outspeeding most threats. It's definitely worth EV training your team earlier if possible. This run is actually easy, if you have a good plan and are properly prepared for it. If not, things can get really tense as you got very little room for error. Here Fiona destroys me like nothing, its coverage is too strong. Then against Gym Leader Winona, look at the carnage. Fiona is OP as hell. Easy sweep. Damn. Now things are really improving for the Shrek squad. But the next gym also looks very hard. My team cannot handle it at all. I need a Mon that can handle that team easily, and I've got just the one. Get in here, Pinocchio. Oh yeah.
I must become flesh and bone. Dear.
Damn, this Milotic was scary as my team was injured at that point, but I destroyed me for the last time. Fiona flexes here, but this Growfell had me a bit worried. Somehow I still outsped it and won. But now, I need to induct Pinocchio properly into the squad. Show me your full power. I EV train his HP and special attack until they're maxed out. Now at this point you might be wondering, what have Shrek and Donkey recently been doing? Shouldn't they be the stars of the show? Well, they've been busy training and are now ready to reach their final forms. Donkey evolves into the powerful stallion. He must have drunk that happily ever after potion from Shrek 2. Not an ass anymore, I guess.
Now,
In Shrek, he's oh, the power! The combined power of Shreklocke obliterates everything until the 7th gym leaders. Man, imagine a fusion between Shrek and Donkey. Oh my. Anyways, basically, Lunatone and Solrock were easy as hell. Hey, that's from the DreamWorks logo. Lunatone tries to postpone the inevitable, but it still ends up doing nothing. In all honesty, I'm getting quite unsatisfied playing the base games of Pokemon. The difficulties are so underwhelming. While I railed on Light Platinum, oftentimes the mainline Pokemon games are no better in terms of difficulty. I mean, a monkey could beat these games. It makes all of these Pokemon challenges that other PokeTubers do in these games extremely boring. If for some reason they do lose a battle, they can just reset the game in seconds to just get whatever outcome they want. That's not very interesting. You have to severely gimp yourself to make these games even slightly challenging. Anyways, I can now get another new Shrekmon for the team and... what's this?
Fear me, if you dare. Hey, look! I have misjudged you. On my honor, I am obliged to accompany you until I have saved your life.
I got Puss in Boots in the squad now. Zangoose learned Sword Stance, which is very fitting, and allows for super strong setup beatdown options. This will make a good addition to help beat Juan, as my team isn't the best at handling it. Donkey and Dragon aren't going to do too much against him. But before I trained Puss, I unlocked the last gym. Finally, Donkey gets to do something, and imagine Sharpedo actually having a water move.
Overabundance of water in both terrain.
Before I can unlock the last gym, something awful happens. The terribly powerful Kyogre has awakened, and I have to stop it at all costs. This thing is very powerful. And oh god, it starts pounding me. This is looking bad, and I've got no choice but to sacrifice Princess Fiona to set up a light screen. Goodbye, Fiona. It's okay, she still lives on in the squad in her ogre form. Shrek, however, unleashes his full power and avenges this loss, destroying Kyogre. With that, the final gym has been unlocked, and despite the loss, I've got Puss in Boots to replace Fiona on the team. I trained up Zangoose for speed and HP values to enable Sword Stance setup. After a short training session, it's time to get the final gym badge and to finish off this challenge. I give Puss some time in the spotlight, and wow, it's strong.
Pray for mercy from... Puss! It would.
Pinocchio, however, goes on a rampage by setting up and one-shotting Wallace's team. Except Milotic, though that Ice Beam could have one-shotted me if it was a critical hit, luckily it wasn't. But with that, it's now time for the Pokemon League. The end is very near. To be honest, I'm pretty happy with this current team, so while I am allowed to catch another Shrekmon, I don't need it right now. Maybe later on, just in case I do need it. I'll just start preparing now for the Pokemon League. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that for HM Dive and Waterfall, I had to use Marshtomp as an HM slave as I've literally got no other option. It is annoying not having a fly user yet, but I'll get one soon. Jesus Christ, I almost got swept at Victory Road by the Smuck as it spammed Minimize. This was too close. Wow. I need to start training now. Finally, Shelgon evolves into the full power dragon it was always meant to be. Donkey intensifies.
My ding ding dong.
Salamence is a monster. Keep rematching these trainers, then return to Victory Road at a good level. Now I'm just wrecking everything here. You can see the Wally fight and it's barely even worth showing. Reach the Pokemon League, then I decide to train one last time for the Elite Four. got some last TMs, and decided to grind the whole team to level 54, which is just under Drake's strongest Pokemon. That's a fair level, not too high. But then something funny happened. As I returned to the Pokemon League, I fast forwarded so much that I uncontrollably launched my character into the Elite Four chamber. Oh well, so much for that. But luckily my team is pretty much ready now anyways. Here's my final team, ready to go for the final battle in the Shrek-Locke. Okay, time for the first battle against Sydney. Will this be hard? Wow, Donkey hit really hard there, the power. I don't know why I switched in Fiona here. This time Sharpedo did have a water move on it, imagine that. But Shrek ends up sweeping really easily. Oh well, the first one's down, but that's always the easiest one. Against Phoebe, I made Puss in Boots set up with a sword stance, as Dusclops uses future sight. A play so big brain I just cannot comprehend it. But with the boost, Zangoose completely sweeps with Shadow Ball. Then against Glacia, Shrek literally goes on a break-breaking frenzy and smacks Glacia's entire team like nothing. Man, that was anticlimactic as anything.
He's a green, sexy bastard who can steal your bitch. My name is Perfect Seal. What are you doing?
Well, Drake was a little bit harder at least. I got Dragon Claw, which is very useful here. Puss in Boots sets up on the Altaria and takes some damage, but is now able to whip Drake's team. There is one more Pokemon though, a male dragon, and with the Intimidate, I don't know if I can handle it. It barely takes a hit, then uses Flamethrower. I can take that, as long as it isn't a crit.
Today, I repay my debt.
No! You
Oh. Goodbye Puss in Boots. You joined the squad late, but became a valuable member in the team. Alas, another precious SHREKMODE has fallen. But we must continue on without him and avenge his death. The true final battle awaits me, with one SHREKMODE down. Will I finally get a challenge against a champion? Let the Shrek-Locke end.
It's all ogre now.
I mean, there was a slight challenge there. The Metagross was a big threat, but man, I forgot how awful Steven's team really was. Water Pulse Armaldo and Dragonclaw Aggron. What the hell even is that? This game's AI really is terrible. But with that done, the Shrek-Locke is now over.
It's never ogre.
I beat the game pretty easily, though I was using a harder version of a harder version of a harder version of a Nuzlocke, which is in of itself a harder version of a normal playthrough. That's really saying something about the difficulty of the base games. And you're telling me that X and Y are even easier than this? Overall, the Shrek-Locke was a pretty fun challenge. It did get challenging at some points, and despite what I just said, it does require good planning. The EV training did make a big difference. This challenge is easy if you've got a good strategy and pick the right Pokemon at the right time. Otherwise, this can actually get very hard. And you do have to be very careful of making mistakes, as you will only get 9 Pokemon throughout the whole game. But with that, the Shrek-Locke's over now. I hope you enjoyed this special video. It's completely out there compared to what I usually do. I had a blast spamming Shrek memes and YTPs.
Wow. Let's do that again.
No! Stay tuned for my next upload, which will be very soon. And I will see you all next time. This is Ding Dong, signing out.
Bye bye.
See you